Hey everybody, it's Andrew Martin from Andrew Martin Energy coming to you with your weekly Oracle card reading. This is the reading for June 14th through the 20th. Can't believe this month is going so fast. I mean, it's going to be Christmas before we know it, y'all. That's my prediction for the week. So this is how we do it. I draw 3 cards for you. We're reading for the collective, obviously, so this is going to be general. Although I do find that these readings tend to be pretty spot on, and what I would love to know from you, if you take a second to drop me a comment, have you found these readings to be useful? I've been back doing them for about a month and a half now. I love doing them, but I would love to hear from you if they are supporting you, giving you guidance, giving you insight, because that's why I'm doing them, in hopes that it helps to give you a little bit of context and a little bit of insight for what's coming up for the week. Also, are you one that watches these at the beginning of the week, or do you watch them at the end of the week? I know there are some people who like to watch them at the end to see how accurate they were, and I know some people like to watch them at the beginning just to sort of like the forecast for the week. Kind of like the weather forecast for the week. You can sort of plan your outfit, although this is talking about the energies. Maybe you can plan your mental outfit for the week. I don't know. I'm just curious to know if you're one that watches at the beginning or the end of the week. This is how we do it. We draw 3 cards, one for Monday, Tuesday, one for Wednesday, Thursday, and then one for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then at the end of the reading, I will draw a 4th card, and that will be the answer to your question. What that means is you have a second at the end of the reading to pause, take a breath, take a beat, find that thread of connection, and then ask whatever question is on your mind, in your heart, at the center of your experience, or currently just kind of floating on the surface, and the card that I draw will be your answer. So I'm going to take a minute, shuffle these cards, get the energies activated, get them woken up. Oh, one more thing. Check in the description. I will leave a link for private Oracle card readings. You can find them at andrewmartin.energy, and the monthly energy healing group coming up this Sunday, the 20th. The theme for June is love and wellness. I know we could all use some extra love and wellness in our lives right now. So I'll leave the description there for my Eventbrite page. You can read all about it and sign up there. So now I'm going to take a second, shuffle these cards, get them woken up, and then I'll be right back and we'll draw the cards. See you soon. All right, here we go. Got the cards shuffled. We are moving and grooving. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wow. 3 major arcana cards for the week. I'm using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. This card deck is based on the traditional tarot, but it's not quite as structured. It's a little bit looser, a little bit more room for interpretation. And so any card in this deck that has a black border denotes major arcana, which is a big theme or a big message. And the first one for Monday, Tuesday is the universe. You know, I mean, I just love this card because the message here is you are being held. You are being carried. Allow yourself to receive what is here for you. I know that this month has been intense. I know the past few years have been intense, but I know specifically we entered eclipse season. We just recently had the solar eclipse, which is kind of the bookend, the sandwich for those 2 eclipses that we had. And there's a whole bunch of planetary stuff going on as well. And the universe, the universe card shows up to, number 1, acknowledge and affirm how much work you have done. The message here is, I know it hasn't been easy. This has been a constant message through many of the readings, that there has been so much you have lost. There has been so much you have given up. There's been so much you have sacrificed and surrendered to get to the place where you are. And I feel like the sacrifice and surrender and the intensity of it has been so real the past couple of weeks and the past couple of months. It's not something that you're making up. It's not something you're imagining. It is undeniable how intense the energies and what we are going through is right now. And this card simply is here to say, relax, allow. I'll share you a quick exercise with you, and this is one of my favorite ones. If you're ever finding yourself feeling overwhelmed with energy, or feeling like it's really, really intense, or you're not sure what to do with the information or the knowledge or the download or the frequency or whatever it is that's currently rippling through your experience, simply place your hand on your heart, take a big breath, and say to yourself, I allow, I allow, I allow. Sometimes our physical body goes into kind of panic mode, especially when it is experiencing energies that it has never really experienced before, especially in the physical waking world. And so it often goes into sort of defense mode, right? It's like threat assessment. Is this a friend or a foe? Should I fight or should I flight? And I think that I allow practice just softens you. It just relaxes you. It reminds you that you are the one who is the director and the creator of your experience. It reminds you that you are the one sitting in that throne of sovereign authority. And it's essentially telling the body, the mind, the emotions, the nervous system, all of the parts of the material self, the physical self, that it's okay, that you're allowing it. And you, as the sovereign of your experience, are dictating to your system that it's okay, baby. I allow this. We can relax, we can lower the defenses, and we can let it in. So that's the message here for Monday, Tuesday is relax into it. Allow it. And I love number 21 here. If we're looking at 21, 21 is right before 22. 22 is a master number. I'm not going to get into the numerology here. If you're interested, you can go ahead and dive into that. I'm also going to leave a link to a video that I recently shared about 1111, which you might find useful. But 21 is right before 22, which is a master number. And 21, if we're looking at this numerologically, reduces to 3. I talked about this in last week's reading, that the are in the June energy forecast video. It's about the ascension process. It's the pyramid. It's the equilateral triangle. And when the masculine self and the feminine self are in balance, that fulcrum in the center of that base of the triangle, the base of the pyramid, opens up. And when we find ourselves in the center, when we find ourselves balanced, that's what opens the portal for the child, and the child is what creates or actually accelerates the ascension process. And so what this is telling me, the 21 is telling me, reducing this to a 3, you are home, you are here, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, masculine, feminine, and the child, whatever whatever perspective you look at it. The message here is that all of you is present. All of you is in the room. You have done the work to integrate the shadow self. You have done the work to create healthy boundaries using your benevolent masculine energy. And this is what has opened the door for you to be carried. So allow yourself to be carried, friend. You don't always have to work so hard. And what I would do is, if I were you this week, especially Monday, Tuesday, if it feels like a burden, if it feels like a struggle, if it feels like you're, got to do the heavy lifting and push that boulder up the hill one more time, you're not Sisyphus, girl. You don't have to do the heavy lifting. If it is not easy in the sense that there is ease and there is flow, stop. I think it's Byron Katie who says there's only 3 kinds of work in this world. There's your work, there's my work, and there's God's work. And the only time things feel like an effort or feel like a struggle is when you're trying to do work that doesn't belong to you. So this week, especially Monday and Tuesday, use the sense of effort, use the sense of difficulty, use the sense of struggle as a clue to let you know you're either doing someone else's work or you're trying to force it and make it happen before it's time. Because remember last week we talked about this. We're still in the building phase. So the building phase isn't always about instant gratification or, instant completion. And the building phase is sometimes boring, right? It's not as fun to look at the studs and the structure and the framing as it is to live in the beautiful house, but it's part of the process. So allow yourself on Monday and Tuesday to be carried, and use the sense of struggle or effort or difficulty as a sign that you're trying to force it, you're trying to do work that doesn't belong to you, or maybe it's just not time. Just because it's not time for it now doesn't mean it won't be time for it later. It's just some things take time. You got to wait for the cake to bake. Even Martha Stewart, the queen of cakes, has to wait for the cake to bake. Even she cannot bend space and time to the extent that she can go from mixing the cake to eating the cake without the baking part in the middle. So Monday and Tuesday is, girl, the universe has your back. The universe is carrying you. And don't forget, you are the universe. So this is just you at another level saying, girl, I got this. Just chill out. Relax, take a beat, take a breath, kick off your shoes, watch a movie, go for a walk, sit outside in the sun, enjoy a delicious meal, do the thing that you've been wanting to do that you haven't had time to do, and just trust that you don't necessarily always have to be the helicopter parent hovering over everything, and you're not the only one doing the work here. Remember that the rest of you, the transphysical self, the part that we can't see with our physical eyes, is also here in the process and is supporting you and is carrying you. So here we are, another major arcana card for Wednesday and Thursday. This is the Patience card. I believe in the traditional tarot, this is the Temperance card. Patience is not a 4-letter word, girl. I know, I get it. Like, I can hear the collective groan, like, patience, I want it now, daddy. And your Veruca Salt comes out, and that's fine. It's fine. I have my inner Veruca Salt. Man, she is entitled, and she is so determined to get it and get it now. However, this is the question. Wouldn't you rather wait a little bit longer for the gourmet, delicious meal than settle for fast food? Look, fast food may feed the hunger. It may satisfy the pangs. It may help to curb the intensity of that, that need and that desire, but it's going to make you gassy. It's going to make you bloated. It's going to give you hot dog fingers. It's going to give you red puffy carb face. Like, you don't want the fast food. Trust yourself and trust the experience that just because you're having to wait, just because there's a few limitations on things isn't a bad thing. Limiting yourself does not mean you're cutting yourself off from your freedom. Limiting yourself is a healthy thing. Again, this is the benevolent masculine energy. It is that benevolent father figure that lives within you that says, baby, I get it. I know you want it all right now. I know you want to have it yesterday, but sometimes it's worth it to wait for it. And I promise you, if you're being asked to wait for something or exercise a little bit more patience, it's because there's a good reason. I believe we also have Mercury retrograde right now, which, I'm going to be doing a video about Mercury retrograde. My new playlist, What's the Tea, that's going to be one of the episodes that I share coming up soon. Mercury retrograde simply means revisit, reassess, reconnect, realign. It doesn't necessarily mean, again, that you have to give it up. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have it. It just means there's a few things you want to make sure are very, very clear, because it's the one thing, and this is what I love, right? You can see this being here looking at this beautiful little seed that's sprouting this gorgeous lily that's, bringing in all of this light and this energy. But there's a secondary message here with this tiny little nugget, this tiny little pebble. It's the pebble in our shoe that can bring everything to a screeching halt. And you know what I'm talking about, right? You're walking down the street, everything's good, and then suddenly, ow, there's something in your shoe, and ow, I try to walk, but ow, so you have to stop. You have to put your bag down, you have to step out of the traffic or move to the side of the sidewalk or whatever, and you have to take your shoe off, and you have to find the pebble and empty it out. And then you put it back on, and it's 110 degrees, and you're sweating buckets, and you feel like a gross pig, and all you want to do is get there and be done with it. But if you're rushing it, if there's something you're overlooking, it is that little pebble in the shoe that is going to bring things to a screeching halt. So trust, number one, that you are being carried and that you will never carry yourself to a place that is unsafe or that is, the wrong place for you to be. And trust that patience is being brought into your experience and your awareness for a reason. Just trust it. Because again, this building phase that we're in, we're not building just something for the next 6 weeks. We're not building something for just like the next 6 months until we get bored of it. The choices that we are making right now, the things that you are committing to, the things that you are saying yes to are going to be part of your experience for the long haul. I'm talking about the next few decades, and we are in the building phase of that. So think about this. If you were building a house that you expected to live in for the rest of your life, for at least the next 20 years of your life, you don't want to rush that. You don't want to be 2 years into the house and it's freaking money pit and there's, the roof caving in and, beams are breaking and the floor is buckled and things are leaking. You want to do it well and you want to do it right. You have worked so hard to get here, my dear. Don't rush it through just to get it done. Every single part is just as important as the other. And here is a way to think about it. How you do one thing is how you do the whole thing. So if I'm rushing and cutting corners and ignoring my intuition that's saying, hey, baby, slow down, take a second look here, take a second thought, get a second opinion, or get another estimate or whatever, those things that you are just, no, I don't want to. No, that takes time. I want it now. I want it now, Daddy. I want to be done with it. Those are the things that are going to fuck you in the end if you're not paying attention. So do it right. Do it right every time, because if you're doing one tiny part of it well and every tiny part of it well, then the whole thing is going to be well. You feel me? Good. So here is the card for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I freaking love this card. Transformation. Again, we have the 13 reducing to 4. So, okay. And I didn't talk about this number, but I'm going to in a second. So 4 is stability. 4 is, the four corners of the square. The angles are true. The joints are flush. It's the 4 cardinal directions. It is, the 4 is stability, the chair with 4 legs. And transformation here, and this is what's coming at the end of the week. You're going to start to feel the urge to jump. You're going to start to feel the urge to just take the leap, pull the trigger, do the thing, sign the contract, whatever. And that's not a bad thing. Just make sure that you're not trying to rush through it, because what I see here is this beautiful being that's transformed. Look, the wings are open. She's ready to take flight. She is waiting for the perfect opportunity. And think of like a bird, right? A bird. There's so many birds out here in the yard, in the garden, and I get to see it every morning when I go out and I sit and have my coffee, and I see the birds, you know, chirping and fighting and feeding and fluffing and bathing, and I hear them, and it's wonderful, and I just love watching them. And you will see some birds, especially like falcons or hawks, they will roost on something. They will sit on something and they'll wait for the perfect current. And all they have to do is launch themselves into that current, and it carries them higher and higher and higher. And they just sort of coast and they glide and they just let the wind carry them. That's what she's waiting for. That's what you're waiting for. It's not that it's not the right time. You're just waiting for that inner click that says, yes, this is your updraft. This is your thermal. This is the thing that you're just going to jump right into, and it's just going to carry you, right? It's like the surfer waiting for that perfect wave. So yes, you're ready to take flight. Yes, you're ready to leave the old, flat, you know, sort of boring gray self behind and look at all the color, look at all the beauty, and you're ready to take the leap. But again, remember, you're being carried. You are now connected to forces that are far greater than you can even be aware of at this time. So allow them to assist you. Allow them to support you. Allow them to help you, and wait for the perfect moment to take your leap, and then just ride that thermal wave all to the way to the top. So one more thing, I want to backtrack real quick. Again, number 14 here reduces to 5. And I talked a little bit about this last week with 5 coming after 4, and 4 is stability, and 5 is moving forward from that stable foundation. Now, 5 is also very similar to 1 in that it is not necessarily the completion. It is not necessarily things coming to fruition. It is a new beginning. It is moving forward. It is moving from a place of stability. So in the middle of the week, when you're feeling that sense to, you know, hurry things along or to jump, you may have to make a choice or a decision. You may have to, you know, be the decider. And as long as you are sure that it feels right, smells right, tastes right, looks right, you know, sounds right, you're checking in with all layers of self. Okay, mind, how does it feel? Okay, body, how does it feel? Okay, emotions, how does it feel? Okay, energy field, how does it feel? Maybe do some free writing, maybe do some journaling, maybe whatever process you use to connect with yourself. It's okay to take action and make choices. And I believe we are in Mercury retrograde right now. Maybe we're not, I don't know. But it feels like a retrograde moment. And so it's okay to make choices and decisions during a retrograde. You just have to be really, really clear that everything feels like it's going in the right direction and that it's a yes. Because if not, it's that pebble in the shoe that's going to stop you in your tracks. You're going to have to pull over to the side of the road, do the whole thing. And this is how I gauge it. If it's not a hell yes, it's a fuck no. So that's your cards for the week. So now take a second, take a little bit of time. You can pause the video here if you'd like. We're going to draw the question or the card for your question. Again, what you do here is whatever question is on your mind, in your heart, on the top of your, you know, head, in the center of your experience, whatever it is that you would like a little bit of guidance or insight on. Now's the time for us to do that. So go ahead and find your center. And let's see what the card is. Da, 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 da. I wish I had a trumpet sound effect. Maybe I'll find one. Rejoice and celebration. Didn't I just talk about the 3 with the universe card here? Hello, 3. We've got these 3 figures. We've got these 3, you know, levels of self, all raising a glass and celebration. And this is what I love about the image. Look, we've got the one big chalice. We've got the one big vessel. And within this vessel are all of these 3 layers that are celebrating. Yes, the answer is yes. You can trust it. It is time. Whatever choices and decisions you have made are the correct ones. Whatever choices and decisions you are leaning towards, probably the correct decision to make. And again, as long as all layers of self are in on it, as long as the feminine is balanced, the masculine is balanced, and the child is present, and you're open, and the vessel is clear, and you've been doing your work, which I know you have. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't aware of what your responsibility and what your part is in this, right? The universe is not Santa Claus, girl. It doesn't just bring you stuff because you want it. It's about doing your work so that you can begin to resonate with the life that you want, right? I'm going to do another video about law of attraction because we get really, really wonky with law of attraction. You can't just put a boat on your vision board and expect to get a boat. That's part of it. The visual is part of it. But another part of it, and the most important part of it, is how you feel about it. What is the way that you feel sort of on the day-to-day? What's your walking around energy? What's your walking around attitude? What are your walking around emotions? What is the set point that you constantly find yourself in? That is a huge, huge factor, and I would say probably the most important factor in manifesting the things that you dream of and creating a life that feels like paradise. But the answer is yes. Rejoice in celebration. We've got the 3 here. All of you is in the room. All layers of self are present and committed and working with you because you are moving towards your truth. And when you are moving towards your truth and you know yourself to be the sovereign authority of your experience, you are unstoppable. Card drop. Thank you as always for watching. Again, you can go to andrewmartin.energy if you'd like to book a personal reading. I'll put the link to do that below. I'll also put the link for this Sunday's group energy work in the description, so you can check that out on Eventbrite. Again, leave me a comment. Let me know how these readings work for you. Are they resonating? Are they feeling true? What sort of guidance and support are you getting from them? I would love to know. Thank you as always for watching. I love you. I'll see you soon.